Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd. The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for Monday, June the 16th of 2025. I'm Stasia Blake. In the headlines tonight, tragedy strikes golf course community. 35-year-old man found dead. Vendors protest at Concord waterfall over infrastructure project. U.S. Congress's proposed tax on remittances sparks global concern. Economists warn of negative impact on small economies like Grenada. And in regional news, Trump admin weighs adding 36 countries, including Caribbean nations, to travel ban. While internationally, Iran-Israel escalation set to dominate G7 talks as leaders gather in Canada. And coming up in sports, National Stadium pitch and outfield at 80% completion, while Game 5 of NBA Finals set for tonight. We'll have all the details for you right after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. Tension is rising among vendors at Concord Waterfall as they protest a major infrastructure project they fear will jeopardize their livelihoods. Rena Pierre-Thomas spoke with concerned small business owners and filed this report.
Vendors and small business owners at the Concord Waterfall in St. John took to the streets on Monday in protest, raising placards and chanting in frustration over a planned project they say threatens their livelihoods. The project stems from a major initiative by the National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, which will cut off the access road to the waterfall for the installation of 10-inch water pipes. The project, set to begin in 2 weeks, will halt vehicular traffic to the site for an entire year, something vendors say they were not formally consulted about.
If NAWASA is supposed to do this project, right, proper consultation should take place. We only had one consultation. One is not enough. It's not enough. We have questions that needs to be answered. What about our livelihood? Right? We have monthly obligations. What are we supposed to do when this project starts? As for now, we want proper communication with NAWASA. They're not coming to us.
June, somewhere around there, NAWASA came to us, and apparently they said to us, which means they were starting a project here. They're running bigger pipes, and up to now they haven't get back in touch with us as the vendors. This is my livelihood. This is what I depend on. This is basically, I don't have anything else to when now we out of business for 1 year, which means this is what I heard the engineer said. So they need to put things in place and let us know exactly what's really going on and what's going to happen to our business.
We want to know from NAWASA what is going to happen. NAWASA, the Board of Tourism, and all the entities involved. We want to know what is going to happen to our livelihood. How are we going to survive when they said that this project is going to last at least 1 year? And we know this is the rainy season, and that project is not going to last a year. It is how my bills are going to be paid. How am I going to eat? I have things to do, and that's what I depend on.
The vendors say their concerns go beyond access. Over the years, they've observed a significant drop in the waterfall's flow and fear the installation of larger pipes will worsen the situation, potentially damaging one of Grenada's natural tourist attractions.
The waterfall is very depleted as it is in its current state, and they're going to be putting in another 10 inches pipe where presently there is an 8-inch pipe on the dam. This is going to take water from that waterfall. The waterfall is very low as it is. That's our only natural resources, and that's what we depend on to survive here. It is the waterfall that persons come to see. It is the waterfall that is advertised. It is Concord Waterfall as a tourist attraction. And when more water is removed from there, what's going to be? That's not going to be a waterfall anymore. It will be named a waterfall, but the water flow would be very much affected. Nobody is saying what is going to happen.
According to the vendors, their attempts to get answers from NAWASA and the Ministry of Tourism have proven futile as they've gotten the roundabout from both. They've also heard through unofficial channels that Concord Waterfall has already been removed from the upcoming tourist season's itinerary, a move that could cripple their income.
Yeah, and also next couple of months, that's coming back to November, that's coming back again, the peak of the season. So knowing we out of that business, what are we going to really do when we home? What are we going to do?
We did reach out to NAWASA, but we have not gotten any response from NAWASA. We reached out to the Ministry of Tourism. We're still waiting on a response from them as well. And what's happening is that everybody is shifting blame. Contract has already been signed. When the contract has been signed and work has started, we should have been the first set of persons that had been consulted concerning the issues that's going to happen with us up here. What's going to happen to us? Nobody's saying anything. We already heard that the Ministry of Tourism has consulted with Taxi Drivers Association and Hotel Association to let them know that this site would be off the map or off the route of the tour for the upcoming season. That has been done, but we have not yet been consulted as to what's going to happen to us.
The vendors are calling for proper consultation on possible alternative arrangements to preserve their businesses while allowing the project to move forward. In a press release issued Monday, NAWASA said its water supply expansion project will improve access to safer, reliable water and bolster Grenada's climate resilience. The utility company claimed that several consultations were held with Concord residents over the past year and acknowledged the need for ongoing dialogue. NAWASA said it remains committed to engaging the community and engaging lingering concerns in the coming days. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Shock and heartbreak have gripped the golf course community in St. George following the discovery of the body of 35-year-old Darren Newton at his home. As the community comes to terms with the tragic news, Newton's grieving mother has issued a plea to the public to refrain from spreading false information about her son's death. She's asking for respect and sensitivity during this difficult time.
A family in Gulf Coast St. George is struggling to come to terms with the tragic loss of 35-year-old Darren Newton, whose body was discovered in his home over the weekend. According to a statement from the Royal Grenada Police Force, officers responded to a report on Sunday, June 15th, and found Mr. Newton's partially decomposed body hanging from the ceiling of his residence. He was pronounced dead at the scene by a medical practitioner. Newton's mother, who requested not to appear on camera, said she last saw her son on Wednesday. She wasn't immediately alarmed by his absence, as he often kept to himself.
The last time I saw Darren was Wednesday. The study house open, and he always is, I think he always does, when he's not working, he always lock himself in the house, because he doesn't really move with people around the place. Even as his mother, he does not talk to nobody and things like that. But normally when we don't see him, we just be concerned, because he did that the last time. So then it's a norm, it's something he normally do, you understand me? So then we see him for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, And we know normally he does be home when he in the night he will leave and go and come back, and this sort of thing. So we didn't bother. Not until Sunday morning when my son going up on the project, he called me, Mommy, I'm getting a send from the house. He going and call the police. I said, well, okay, when them police come, and them police break open the house, there they see the body hanging.
She also made a heartfelt plea to members of the public to refrain from spreading false information about her son's death.
People just have a lot going about and say, and I want to clear the air. Please, all who going around saying wrong things, please ask a question. Is my child? I love my child. You make sure you don't make children mine. He just make up his mind to do what he have to do. Me or anybody else can't do anything about it. We don't know. What pushed him to that? I don't know. So please, I'm asking everybody who going around with this rumor talking about he was missing and we don't follow a missing person, but it was not the case.
A villager known affectionately as Pi, who once worked alongside Newton, described him as a quiet but hard-working individual.
He used to do a little work with me as a contractor. He used to do a little mason work, put on blocks, do a little plastering and everything. In them time, to me, he was okay, right? But in the last time that I've seen him, which is, let me say, the last year, a little bit, could be more or less, I find he was kind of, to me, how I put it, he was kind of mentally deranged. He was a good boy. He could have walked. He used to be there. He had ideas of work.
A post-mortem examination is scheduled to determine the exact cause of death as police investigation into the circumstances surrounding Darren Newton's passing. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Chrislina John reports from Carriacou, where media professionals gathered to mark the start of Media Week 2025.
Media professionals led the charge at Sunday's church service at the St. Francis Anglican Church in Harveyville, marking the official start of Media Week, June 15th to the 21st. Mistress Janelle Dick did the first reading at Sunday's church service.
Reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verses 1 to 4 and 22 to 31. Does not wisdom call, and does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights, besides the way, at the crossroads, she takes her stand.
The Mass was presided over by Archdeacon Michael Marshall, who addressed media professionals on Trinity Sunday.
The Father, the Creator, is the ultimate source. The Son is the perfect revelation, and the Holy Spirit is God active as believers. It actively shapes how we think. It actively shapes how we feel. It actively shapes how we act as people. The Holy Trinity is a model for community and relationship, divine harmony. The Trinity demonstrates
MOX President Kalisha Faria explained the media's role as the fourth estate, differentiating it from other information sources.
We should focus on our role as guardians of the truth. Journalism in the age of noise. In this digital age where anyone with a smartphone can publish, podcast, or live stream to the world, it is more important than ever to reaffirm what sets journalists apart. Journalists are not simply content creators or passionate voices behind the mic. We are the guardians of truth. We are trained to seek facts, verify sources, present multiple sides, and hold power to account. Regardless to be informed and to be empowered by information that is accurate, fair, and independently sourced. We deal with accuracy and fairness over sensationalism, verification over virality. Everyone wants to go viral. Independence over influence, accountability over agenda, and above all, a commitment to the public interest.
Fathers in the congregation were serenaded and received gifts on their special day from the MWAG membership and children in the congregation. Prior to Sunday's church service, Minister for Carriacou and PT Martinique Affairs, Tevin Andrew, joined MWAG's president and other members of the media to plant trees at the Botanical Gardens. Minister Andrew facilitated further engagement with the media in a question and answer session. 2 presentations of fresh produce and solar lights from Classic Lighting were handed over to the Top Hill Home for the Aged and the Mount Royal Hospital. Christina John, GBN News.
This is news at 7. Coming up, no restrictions on Grenada for now. Stay with us for the details.
Take charge of your financial journey by switching to an Own Your Own loan at Arise Credit Union. Arise's Own Your Own loan is as unique as you are because we know one size fits all does not fit you. With Own Your Own loan, you get unmatched benefits including lower interest rates, flexible repayment options, discounted loan and legal fees, and savings from hardware suppliers. Tailor-made options that put you in control. Switch now and step into the life you were always meant to live with Arise's Own Your Own loan. Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future. Call us today at 440-1759 or visit our website at arisescu.com.
Need to check your bill balance? Use the Grenlec mobile app. Open the Grenlec mobile app and tap the icon labeled Balances at the bottom of the screen. View your bill details, including your current bill balance, the due date by which you must settle your bill, the amount and date of the last payment you made. It's quick, easy, and available 24/7. Convenience at your fingertips.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Climate change is real. Storms are getting stronger and droughts are lasting longer. Are you prepared for what's ahead? At Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, we want to help you protect your investments. Build for the future with a BFF loan. Make climate-smart upgrades and strengthen your home to withstand nature's unpredictability. Get 100% financing to build or purchase a home or make additions to your existing structure. Enjoy discounts on related loan fees and special benefits when you choose climate resilient solutions. We are also offering financing of up to $50,000 unsecured for your home upgrades. Invest in renewable energy, energy efficient appliances, water storage, and so much more. The time is now to ensure your investments can withstand climate change. Invest in your home, protect your family, and secure your future with a BFF loan. You have a BFF in Co-op Bank. Visit our website for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome home.
With just $2, you can gift yourself with a chance to win the Lotto jackpot. Now, imagine winning the National Lotteries Authority jackpot of $58,000. Why pass upon this winning opportunity? Lotto, play and win a lot of money.
The Mass officially starts now as Spice Mass Cooperation together with Aura Caribbean is turning up the thing all the way up with Carnival City Fusion Thursdays. It all kicks off on Thursday, May 29th and continues every Thursday into June. We're bringing the vibes to the Port Louis lawn. Gates open 7 p.m. Action starts 8 p.m. Get ready for live performances from your favorite soca, groovy and calypso artists, plus the sweet sounds of steel band, live bands, and all the mass elements you love. Veko, Jab Jab, Short Knee, Mokojumbi, Apache, and more. It's more than a line. It's a whole carnival experience. So grab your crew, bring the energy, and come let's celebrate where culture meets pure excitement. Carnival City Fusion Thursdays, Port Louis Lawn, beginning May 29th and continues every Thursday into June. Come, let's play a mass, cause the thing starts.
Dreaming of a summer vacation? We can make it happen. Need a credit card for summer spending? We can make that happen too. Need a loan for Carnival, debt consolidation, education expenses, and more? We've got you covered with a Republic Bank Make It Happen loan. Up to 100% financing, competitive rates, and a chance to win great prizes. Live your best life this summer with financing from Republic Bank. Check out republicgrenada.com or visit us today to get your summer started right with a Make It Happen loan.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Grenada escapes possible U.S. visa restrictions against CBI countries. Beverly Tullisford reports.
Grenada is the only Eastern Caribbean nation with an active Citizenship by Investment or CBI program that was not named in a leaked U.S. State Department memo proposing possible new visa restrictions. According to the Washington Post, the memo, signed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and circulated to U.S. diplomatic missions over the weekend, identifies Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia among 36 countries under review. The document reveals that the Trump administration administration is considering visa bans or other travel restrictions for countries offering CBI programs, citing concerns over the sale of citizenship without residency requirements and isolated reports of anti-American activity by some passport holders. Despite long-standing claims by Caribbean governments that their programs are development tools with strong due diligence and security protocols, the memo gives listed nations 60 days to meet new benchmarks. An initial action plan must be submitted by 8 a.m. on Wednesday. While the memo raises serious concerns, it also leaves the door open for diplomacy. Countries that agree to repatriate third country nationals removed from the U.S. or enter safe third country agreements may find more favorable terms. Grenada's exclusion remains unexplained, though analysts point to its unique position as the only Caribbean CBI country with an E2 treaty, allowing its citizens to apply for long-term investor visas to the U.S., as noted by Investment Migration Insider. The memo also names 25 African countries along with several in Central Asia and the Pacific. It follows a June 4th presidential proclamation enacting full travel bans on 12 nations, including Afghanistan, Iran, and Libya, and partial restrictions on 7 others, such as Cuba and Venezuela. The White House has not issued a formal response. The leaked memo comes just over a month after OECS heads of government and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met for high-level talks to address a range of critical regional issues, including migration and security concerns. Attempts have been made to contact Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Andal, as well as Press Secretary Nila Etienne, for a response to the leaked memo and an explanation as to why Grenada remains in the clear and under what circumstances. However, neither could be reached on Monday. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
A key provision in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, OBA, now making its way through the U.S. Congress, is drawing widespread international concern. A proposed excise tax on international remittances sent by individuals residing in the United States who are not U.S. citizens or nationals. Economist Dr. Patrick Antoine examines its effect on countries like Grenada. Beverly Telesford has more.
The United States, home to the largest immigrant population in the world, is also the largest global source of remittances to lower-income countries. After narrowly passing the House of Representatives on May 22, 2025, by a vote of 215 to 214, the bill, which includes an excise tax targeting cross-border remittances sent by individuals living in the U.S. without U.S. citizenship or national status, is now under review in the Senate. If the remittance provision remains intact, it would mark the first time the U.S. federal government has implemented such a tax on international money transfers made by individuals. The bill proposes a 3.5 excise tax on remittances sent by non-citizens. The sender, not the recipient, would bear the tax, which would be collected by remittance service providers and remitted to the U.S. Treasury on a quarterly basis. Dr. Patrick Antoine, a prominent economist, has cautioned that this measure could have serious implications for small economies like Grenada, where remittances are a key source of household income and foreign currency.
Well, I think from the big picture perspective is clearly negative to the extent that, very simply put, if we were to look at the numbers for 2023, which is, of course, a good reflection of what a normal year would look like, the net inflows from remittances in Grenada, looking at the money services transfers as a sort of the institution that we're pulling the data from, we're talking about nearly $60 million in inflows. So the exact figure was about $57.3 million into the economy in net inflows, which of course is substantial. Where that falls to the extent that we have a reduction in the level of remittance flows themselves for fear, both because the economy is shrinking, the sort of economic impact, and of course the concerns about what the economy would look like in the next 6 months. That's one set of parameters.
Dr. Antoine explained that the provision could also discourage remittance flows by requiring senders to disclose their residency status to remittance providers, something many individuals may avoid for fear of legal or personal repercussions.
Based on the fact that your personal information in terms of your status as a non-U.S. citizen could put you in harm's way by the authorities is a second one we need to take a look at. What that would mean is that the remittance companies themselves may have to start looking at increasing the cost of their services. So the cost of every transfer may have to go up to cover their own costs. Persons are going to ask citizens of the U.S. that they know to use their sort of information to transfer the funds to the Caribbean. That's certainly one thing we could see. Whether persons are going to be willing to do that in a sustained manner, we have to see, because of course it means that your information, whether you know it or not, is also going to be captured as transferring X amount of dollars to Grenada.
As Senate deliberations continue, the remittance tax remains one of the most contentious and closely watched elements of the OBBBA legislation. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
The top 3 winners of the 2025 GBN Maggie King of the Grill competition received their prizes during a special ceremony last Friday. More in this report.
First-time competitor Angus Macmillan was crowned the 2025 King of the Grill, collecting an array of prizes after wooing the judges with his flavorful dishes and standout creativity. Macmillan also claimed the title of Best Seafood Dish with 260 points and Most Creative Dish with 284 points. His prizes included an evening pass from Sandals Resort, a buffet dinner for 2 at Koyaba Beach Resort, 2 bales of products from Grenada Paper Product, 2 complimentary bottles from Grenada Distillers, and a cash prize of $2,500.
I feel proud. You take a lot of hard work and energy and love what you're doing. Well, my hopes is very high when I'm doing anything, because I put love to it. And when you put in love to things, you could get victory coming after it. As I say, it's a competition, and anything could go on a grill. I decide, I will put it out and we'll come out with it.
Second place contestant, former Grill King Nelson Ross, took home the award for Best Meat Dish with a score of 285 points. His prize package included 1 bale of product from Grenada Paper Products, 1 night stay for 2 at Koyaba Beach Resort, a complimentary bottle from Grenada Distillers, and $1,500 in cash. Alan Charles claimed 3rd place, securing $1,000 in cash, a gift basket from Duty Free Caribbean, and a bottle from Grenada Distillers. The sizzling showdown took place on June 7th at the Moon Rouge playing field, where 11 of Grenada's top grillers competed, delivering an unforgettable culinary experience. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Mangrove restoration effort underway in Carriacou after Hurricane Beryl. More news to come. Stay with us.
Fully 1 week. Nah. Telling you. You them bosses, Dragon. Hello. You see that? About 10, let them man make all of them, man. Me a 38, man. But you are 92. Yeah. You need the number 1 run, man. That is it. No, what? Nice. Yeah. You number 1. Ah, yeah, me too, man.
Whether sipped neat, mixed into a classic cocktail, or savored on the rocks, our rum delivers a taste that captivates and satisfies. Choose greatness. Choose Classcoat, the number 1 rum. Produced by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
level
level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians, from wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
One community-based organization headed by Devin Baker is placing emphasis on the restoration of mangroves in Carriacou. Here's more in this report.
In addition to over 90% of Carriacou's vegetation being destroyed during Hurricane Beryl in July 2024, severe damage was also caused to the island's mangroves. Mangroves are crucial for protecting coastlines from erosion and supporting marine biodiversity. Their destruction left the island more vulnerable to future storms. Devon Baker, Director of Technical Services in the Ministry of Carriacou and P.T. Martinique Affairs, provided details about an initiative focused on the restoration of mangroves and ecosystem resilience. It began with a cleanup exercise over the weekend in an area called The Point, close to Lauriston Airport.
We're giving a sort of a soft start to a project that would look at doing a number of things, but especially restoring the mangrove that was lost in this area. We started today by being a cleanup effort because since Hurricane, very little effort was expended on the mangroves, which is really important. So we have quite a bit of debris in the mangrove in addition to the usual waste that we would encounter here. We've been cleaning up over the years, doing annual coastal cleanup in this area. So we started with that today, and to more or less bring back together the people that we've worked with in the past years to do replanting of mangroves. So shortly after the storm, one of the other members, Franklin and I, came and we did a walkthrough, and we were very happy to see that although most of the adult trees were fallen under the adult trees, the ones that were planted in 2023 were there. So at least the mangrove had a bit of a start in terms of recovery, and we didn't have to start entirely from scratch. Today, those trees a year later are pretty much advanced. So,
highlighting the urgent need for climate action and stronger coastal protection efforts, Baker explained how they intend to navigate the areas given the challenge of getting past fallen trees and larger debris, including galvanized.
We do at least 1,000 plants. In the past years, we did over 2,000. We do at least 1,000 plants. This is a small grant that we receive from an organization called Ecology Foundation. This is very small, so we do at least 1,000 plants. We collect the seedlings from Grenada. We would most likely focus the bulk of our planting on the fringes because it's a real tangled mess out there with the fallen trees. But as we walk through this morning, we were considering how we could at least begin to tackle that and to clear some of the debris. A lot of it would be left to rot and to provide mulch and manure for the plants that we put down.
The initiative includes community engagement as residents are being trained in the proper care and management of mangroves and will, at the same time, learn of the benefits of the mangroves.
Mangroves are very important for a number of reasons. One being coastal protection. They form a natural buffer between the coastline and the land. And the events like hurricanes, they absorb a lot of the shocks of the storms, a lot of the wind energy, which is what happened here. They took it and they took a big beating and they're not coming back quickly. But what's on the other side had some measure protection. Mangrove also provide a habitat for wildlife, for birds. Mangrove is good for honey. We get a good quality honey from bees feeding off the mangrove blossoms. So mangrove do provide a number of things.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
The Inter-American Development Bank, or IDB, has announced new measures to support Caribbean development and integration. The IDB will create a multi-donor fund for the One Caribbean program, focusing on climate resilience, citizen security, private sector development, and food security. 11 regional initiatives have been launched, including One Safe Caribbean and a project preparation coordination mechanism. The IDB is providing $283 million in grants for projects like school meals, hospital renovations, and infrastructure development. A 2025-2030 recovery plan for Haiti will promote economic opportunities outside Port-au-Prince. The IDB is leading the plan's preparation with the UN, EU, and World Bank. A debt for resilience multi-country swap program will unlock fiscal space and strengthen resilience. The Caribbean Multi-Donor Trust Fund has been launched with initial contributions worth $13 million from Canada and the UK. The IDB invites other countries and institutions to participate, aiming to boost regional development and integration. Stay with us. We'll have sports and international news right after the break.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Granville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
It happens to all of us. Low on cash and in need of money right away. Play Instacash Monday to Sunday and there are no draws.
So what you saying? No numbers to choose from?
Nope.
And no draw sessions to wait on?
Nope.
And we can play it anytime and any day?
Yep. Including Sundays. Instacash. Ask for it by name and choose from a wide variety of games as low as $2 and win instantly. It is fast, it is easy to play, and you win cash right away. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Good evening, sports fans. Cricket West Indies Republic Bank 5 for Fun has reached its final stage. The program was first launched in 2024 with the support of the Grenada Cricket Association, GCA, and the Ministries of Education and Youth and Sport. 5 for Fun is designed to be educational and entertaining while providing students from 31 primary schools, ages 8 to 12, with the opportunity to learn the basics of cricket in a fun and supportive environment. The coordinator of the program is Raphael Crony.
I'm happy to report for the 5 for Fun we are now at basically the final stage. Now, as you know, we had all the playoffs in various zones. We have come down to the last 6 teams, 6 schools, and these 6 schools want to play off next week Wednesday, which is the 25th. That will take place at 10. We expect really a quite interesting finals, and certainly, as you know, there will be a presentation of the prizes and so forth would be one. But I can tell you that this time around, I guess there was more interest. We have seen much more interest in terms of the school participation and so forth. And one just hope that it will move from strength to strength from here. I can just let you know this the 6 schools that qualified. We have Mount Pleasant from Carriacou. We have from St. John's RC. We also have River Sally, St. Patrick's. We have Paraclete, St. Andrews, St. David's. We have St. David's RC and Constantine Methodist.
And still with cricket, the local organizing committee continues to drum up support and excitement for the second test between West Indies and Australia. The match is set for July the 3rd to the 7th at the National Stadium. Second VP of the Grenada Cricket Association, Raphael Crony, says preparations are going according to plan.
Just about 2 weeks away, and I can tell you all preparation is in place, all hands on deck, making sure that all the logistics are put in place and whatever necessary that all those things are in place. As you know, test match, this is international at the highest level, and therefore we have to make sure everything is in place. So there is a LOC that is set up to make sure that game comes off effectively. And I can tell you from where I sit, things are going pretty smoothly. Just a final thing to get just a few little things in place. I am positive that we are going to have a pretty good showing in that test match.
Meanwhile, curator Kevin Hola says the wicket and field are at 80% completion.
Well, the surface is ready for preparation 10 days before the game. So we all know we just fertilizing and watering and make sure it stays green until the 10 days before the game.
Take me through the process. What happens then?
Well, 10 days before the game, we water down and make sure enough moisture go down inside the soil. So it can last for 5 days. We can eat a 5-day game.
Last weekend saw another exciting round of matches in the Premier League. Communications officer in the Grenada Football Association, Kern Mason, brings us up to speed on those matches while setting the tone for some exciting upcoming games.
We had quite an interesting weekend of games in the Premier League. Queen's Park Rangers, they were the big winners on the weekend. They defeated North Stars 4-1 in their encounter at Cheju. We also had Saab Spartans and Paradise FC International playing at Victoria Park. That game ended in a 0-0 draw. We also had Hard Rock and Shamrock. They ended that game 2-2, and that game was played at Plains. And we also had the game between Hurricanes SC and St. John's Sports at Alston George Park, actually. That game ended also in 0-0. So it was quite an interesting weekend of matches. Only one game, I should say that one of the teams got full points for that game, which is 3 points, Queen's Park Rangers, and it sets up a very interesting Premier League season.
And now on to basketball, where the finals now shift back to Oklahoma City for Game 5 on Monday, June the 16th. The Oklahoma City Thunder tied up the championship series 2-2 on Friday after handing the Indiana Pacers a 111-104 Game 3 loss at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, extending the Thunder's perfect 6-0 streak of winning after a loss this postseason. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went off for a game-high 35 points in Friday's win, shooting 12 of 24 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and a perfect 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Jalen Williams added 27 points, while Alex Caruso had 20 and 5 steals off the bench. The Thunder struggled from the three-point line, going 18.8% from beyond the arc, but Oklahoma City had no problem in the paint, outscoring the Pacers 50-36. Tyrese Halliburton is still looking for his breakout game in the 2025 NBA Finals. He was 1 of 7 from 3 on Friday and finished with 18 points and 7 assists. Pascal Siakam finished 2 rebounds shy of a double-double, recording 20 points and 8 rebounds. And that's what's been happening in sports. And now for a look at what's been happening around the region and the wider world today. President Trump's administration is considering significantly expanding its travel restrictions by potentially banning citizens of 36 additional countries from entering the U.S. That's according to an internal State Department cable seen by Reuters.
The internal cable, signed by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, was sent out over the weekend. It listed multiple issues with the 36 countries under scrutiny and gave them 60 days to fix those problems or face full or partial entry bans. The Washington Post first reported the existence of this cable. So what are the concerns? According to the State Department, some of these countries lack competent or cooperative governments, fail to produce reliable ID documents, have questionable passport security, don't help the U.S. deport nationals ordered to leave, allow their citizens to overstay visas, have citizens linked to terrorism, anti-American acts, or anti-Semitism. Not every concern applies to every country, the cable clarified. A senior State Department official refused to comment on the internal discussions, but said the U.S. is constantly reevaluating policies to protect American citizens. The Department of State is committed to national security and public safety through our visa process, the official added. The 36 countries now on notice include Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Bhutan, Burkina Faso, Cabo Verde, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Dominica, Ethiopia, Egypt, Gabon, the Gambia, Ghana, Kyrgyzstan, Liberia, Malawi, Mauritania, Niger, Nigeria, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, South Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Tonga, Tuvalu, Uganda, Vanuatu, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. These would be in addition to the 12 countries already affected: Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. The U.S. has also partially restricted travelers from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. This approach follows Trump's first-term travel ban on 7 Muslim-majority countries, a highly controversial policy that was upheld by the Supreme Court in 2018 after multiple legal battles and revisions. If enforced, the new list would mark one of the most sweeping travel bans in modern U.S. history.
G7 leaders meeting amid Middle East conflict divided over Israel's strikes on Iran, with concerns over escalating tensions, global energy supplies, and trade tariffs. This report from Al Jazeera.
Leaders of the G7 countries arriving for their annual summit, a meeting that will now be dominated by conflict and a rising death toll in the Middle East. As he left the White House to head here, President Trump was still talking about a nuclear agreement with Iran.
Well, I hope there's going to be a deal. I think it's time for a deal, and we'll see what happens. But sometimes they have to fight it out, but we're going to see what happens. I think there's a good chance there'll be a deal.
With neither Iran or Israel represented at the summit, Trump is the only person who could influence events on the ground. But the other leaders will be concerned about Israeli efforts to get the US to join the war and expand the goal to toppling the Iranian system. A former senior State Department official told me summits of leaders have in the past helped at a time of global crisis, but he's not optimistic this time.
I think there's discomfort all the way around. We're not just talking about the latest conflict being the Iranian strikes. We're also talking about the war continuing in Gaza. And so I do think there'll be a lot of discussions. They'll be very timely. But it's hard to see within the contours of this leaders meeting in the G7 how they're going to be able to take decisive action on any of those fronts.
There'll be a range of views here. Most of the G7 nations, while saying they'd like to see a return to diplomacy, have adopted their usual mantra: Israel has the right to defend itself. The one exception is Japan, which strongly condemned Israel's attack on Iran on Friday. In addition to the G7 leaders, there are leaders of another 8 countries who've been invited here. They include South Africa and Brazil, which have both firmly condemned Israel's actions. President Trump's tariffs on countries around the world, including the US's closest allies, have already brought great economic uncertainty this year. Leaders gathering here in the mountains will be concerned that the global economy could be further impacted by a conflict raging in a region that's so important to the world's energy supply. James Bays, Al Jazeera, at the G7 summit in Canada's Rocky Mountains.
That's what's been happening around the region and the wider globe today. Now for a recap of the night's top headlines. Tragedy strikes golf course community. 35-year-old man found dead. Vendors protest at Concord waterfall over infrastructure project. U.S. Congress's proposed tax on remittances sparks global concern. Economists warn of negative impact on small economies like Grenada. In regional news, Trump admin weighs adding 36 countries, including Caribbean nations, to travel ban. While internationally, Iran-Israel escalation set to dominate G7 talks as leaders gather in Canada. And in sports, National Stadium pitch and outfield at 80% completion, while Game 5 of NBA Finals set for tonight. If you missed any part of this newscast, there'll be a rebroadcast tonight at 10 o'clock. Continue to watch us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Stasia Blake, and that's the news. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow night.